Hello everyone, welcome back to our new playlist of this channel, which name is Power BI with SQL. So, in the last class, we have covered that how to rename any table or column. And with the help of where clause, we have also learned that how we can filter any of the data in our SQL table. And last, we have also covered that how we can update records in our existing table with the help of update command. So in today's tutorial, we will also learn some other new SQL commands. So let's start our class. So here under this today's tutorial guys, we will cover this alter command and we will also learn various uses that how this command is useful to perform our day-to-day operations. So let's understand some theory before moving to the practical. So this is a part of this data definition language. This command is used to modify the structure of an existing table. So if you want to make any changes in your existing table or any database or any column, we can use this alter command. And here are some various ways guys to use this alter command. For an example, we can alter database name, add new column in the existing table, remove existing column, modify data type length, add constraint, remove constraint, and so on. So we can use this alter command in multiple ways. And now let's learn how to rename any database name in SSMS. So let's go to SSMS window. So we have entered in our SSMS screen. And now let me expand this database to click this plus icon. And here we can clearly see we have three databases in our SSMS, which is Cricket, Shubham and Student. And suppose we want to rename this Shubham database with new name. So let me click here on this new query and I will simply write alter. And here we are doing the changes with the database. So I will simply write database. And after that guys, you need to write the old database name, which is Shubham. And now guys, I will use one keyword here under this command, which name is modify name. So I will simply write modify. After that I will write name. And now I'll put it equal to, and here we can give the new database name. So let's say I want to change Shubham with Shubh007. So I will simply write Shubh007. You guys can also add the space here after equal to. So this is our query guys, and now let me select this query and execute. And see, the database name Shubh007 has been set. And now let me click here on this refresh. And if I expand this database guys, so here we can see our database name has changed from Shubham to Shubh007. And now let's learn another way to rename your database. So if you remember guys, we have learned rename command in the previous tutorials. But at that time, I have not explained how to rename the database. But in this today's tutorial, I will explain how to rename database with the help of existing store procedure. So we also have some store procedure to rename the database. So let me write this query again to rename the database. And this time guys, I will again change from Shubh007 to Shubham with the help of different query. So firstly we need to write execute. The short form of execute is exec. And now I will take help of existing stored procedure, which is sp underscore rename db. So I will simply write sp underscore rename db. And now I will start single inverted comma. And here I will write the old database name. So this time my database name is Shubh007. So I will write it here Shubh007 and inverted comma close. And now put it comma, and here I will enter the new database name. So this time I again want to replace with Shubham only. So inverted comma begin, and I will write simply Shubham and inverted comma close. So here we can see this query. So now let me select this and execute. And now click here on this refresh button. So see here, our database name has again changed from Shubh007 to Shubham. And now I will tell you one more and easiest way to rename this database. Simply select this database name and do right click and here you can see the option of rename. Just click here and you guys can rename any of the database name which you want. Let's say I will replace with this Shubham2 and hit OK. See guys. So these are the ways guys to rename any of the database. And now let me again rename. And now guys, let's learn how to add any new column in our existing table. But before that, we have to open one table here. So I will simply go here in new query and open my table with select command. So my table name is sales. So I will simply write select star from my table name which is sales. And now I will select this command and execute. So before adding any column here, let me show you the syntax of alter command. So here is the syntax guys. So firstly we need to write alter table, after that table name, and then I will use add keyword guys because I want to add a column. And after that I will write the column name and the data type. So I want to add email ID column under my sales table. So here I have written one query. You guys can see it here. So firstly I will write alter table, then my table name is sales, and after that I will use add keyword because we are adding one column here. And in yellow color guys, this is a new column name which I want to create, which name is age. And after that I have defined the data type which is integer. And now let's execute same query in SSMS. So here I will write my query. So firstly I will write alter table and my table name is sales. So I will simply write add, and here you can define the new column name which is age. And finally we need to write the data type. So in age column guys, obviously we cannot take age as a text. Age is always been number, so I will take int which is integer. So this is the query guys, and now let me select this query and execute. So here we can see commands completed successfully. And now let me select this query and execute to see all the records of sales table. So here we can clearly see age column is added in our sales table and it returning null values in the entire column because we have not entered any value under it. We have just added only column name which is age. And suppose if you want to add any value under it, so you guys can use update command with where clause, which we have studied in the previous tutorial. So with the help of update and with where clause, we can easily fill the values under this age column. So let's take a random example. So let's quickly take one example. Suppose guys, I want to enter this age under this Shubham record. So we can use update command and where clause and we can easily fill the age in the front of Shubham record. So let me quickly write this query. So firstly I will use update command and here we need to define the table name. So our table name is sales. And now I will use one keyword which name is set. So here under this keyword we need to enter the column name as well as the value which you want to enter. So my column name is age. And under age column guys, I want to write a value, let's say 29. And finally I will use where clause. And under where clause we need to write the column name and the value where you want to set this age. So I want to set this age under Shubham record. And Shubham record is here under this names column. So I will simply take this names column equal to single inverted comma begin. And I will write my value which is Shubham and close this single inverted quote. And now let me select this query and execute. And here we can see 10 rows are affected. And now let me again execute this query. Select star from sales. So if I check this age column here, then we can see some values in the front of record Shubham are appear, which is 29. So in a similar way, we can also update more records. So let's try one more example. So this time we will update this record Vihan. So I will simply change the age here. And here I will write Vihan. And now let me select this command and execute. So here we can see 2 rows are affected because in this data set Vihan is only written 2 times. And now let me open this sales table again and see this value is filled with 30 So I hope now you are cleared and how we can fill the values with this update command with where clause. And those who are missed the previous tutorial, so I would request please go and watch my previous tutorial to understand this update command in more detail. So don't even miss a single tutorial if you really want to learn these SQL concepts in detail. And now let's learn one more way to use this alter command. So with the help of this query, we have added a column in our existing table with the help of alter table command. And now let's learn how to remove this age column permanently from this existing table. So here we have simple query to remove this age column from this existing table. So instead of this add keyword guys, you guys can use drop keyword. So now let me copy this query and I will paste this here. So I will simply remove this add from here and I will use drop. And here I will write column because I want to delete this age column. And here is no data type required, so let me remove this data type. And now let me select this command and execute. So here we can see command completed successfully. And now let me open this table. So let me select this command and hit execute. So here we can see there is no age column here under this sales table. So I hope now you understood that how we can add or delete column in our existing table with the help of alter command. So here under this tutorial we will majorly talk about alter command uses. So here are a lot of ways to use this alter command. And now let's understand how we can use this alter command with constraint. So here are the types of constraint which we have already covered in the tutorial number 3. And those who are missed that tutorial, so go and watch that to take depth knowledge about constraints. And now guys, we will learn how we can use this constraint with alter command. So go back to the SSM screen and now let me delete all the queries from here. So before that, let me go to this left side and open this Shubham database. So let me click here on this plus icon and expand this Shubham database and click here on this tables. And here we can see all the tables which we have in this Shubham database. And this is our sales table guys. So let me do right click here. And if I click here on this design option guys. And now we can see here under allow nulls, we can see all the values are checked. Which means user does not allow to empty any values here under this name column. That means when this table has created, so user fixed that constraint with allowing nulls. And here you can also see allow nulls is yes. That means for all the columns, nulls values are allowed. Nulls here means empty values. So let's create query to uncheck null with this name column. So how we can alter this thing? So let me open this new query. And here I will write alter table. And our table name is sales. And now we need to alter the name column. So I will simply write alter column and our column name is names. And now I will define the data type which is varchar. And you guys can take any random number. So I am taking 255. And I will declare as not null because earlier it was null. And now I will select this query and click here on this execute button. So see, command completed successfully. That means now I cannot leave this column as blank. And now again I will do right click and go here in this design. So here we can see not null is unchecked for this name column. That means null is not allowed for this name column, which means empty values are not allowed. That means while inserting the value, you need to enter any value here under this name column. You can't leave it as blank. If you leave it as blank, it will throw an error. And this thing you want to see with practical, just try to insert some values by yourself. That thing which we have already covered in the previous classes. So I am again requesting you guys can go and watch the previous tutorials. And you can take the reference of third tutorial where I have explained everything about constraints. Only then you guys will get more clarity about constraints. That how these constraints work. I'm not gonna insert any value with this constraint. So this is the homework guys, you need to explore by yourself. And if you again want to make it null, so you can simply change the query. So let's go to the query. So you simply need to remove this not keyword. So in this way we can make the alteration with any of the constraint with using alter command. So I hope this time you guys are clear that how we can use alter command with not null or null constraint. And now let's understand one more constraint with alter command. So this time we will talk about this unique constraint. So unique values are those values which are not repeated. And now let's go back to the SSM screen and open our sales table. So here I will simply write select star from sales. So if you see this table guys, here we can see all the columns are foreign key, which means each column's values are repeated. If you talk about this name column, sales ID column or any of the column. And unique means guys, all the values are unique. No value is repetition under the single column. So we should have at least one column where we can see some unique values which are not in repetition. So guys, I am taking another table where one column would be the primary key and other columns are foreign key. Here foreign key simply means where the values are in repetition. So here all columns are foreign key because value are repeating. And now let me open one more table which name is quantity. So this is the table guys, and I will use the same command with this select star from table name, which is quantity. So here is our table guys, and now let me execute this command. So here under this table, this sales ID is a unique key, or you can say the primary key. There are some differences guys between some unique key and primary key, but we will talk about this later. Just you only need to understand the primary key and unique keys are those keys where the values are not repeating. Each value is unique. So these columns are foreign key and this is a unique key. So let's suppose I want to mark this sales ID column is a unique key. That means if person wants to insert any duplicate value here under it, so they can restrict. So let's apply this query with alter command, so that person cannot write any repeated value. And I want to mark the sales ID as unique key. So again I will use alter command. So I will write alter table. So our table name is quantity. So I will write quantity here. And now I will use one more keyword which name is add unique. And simply I will write the column names in bracket. So I want to mark this column name as unique key. So I will simply take this column name which is sales space ID and close the bracket. And see guys, it's getting me an error because there is a space here under this column. So whenever we have a space in any of the column, so you guys can use this square brackets and close this. And now we can see the error has gone. So simply select this query and execute. And here we can see command completed successfully. And now let's check whether this column has changed to unique constraint or not. So to check this, we need to go this quantity table and click here on this plus button. So here we can see a folder which name is indexes. So firstly we need to refresh this folder. So just select this and do right click. And here we can see refresh. So let me refresh this. And now if I expand this with this plus icon, so here we can clearly see this indexing is showing UQ quantity, which means unique key, and you cannot insert any duplicate value here under this sales ID column under quantity table while inserting the values. If you trying to add any duplicate value, unique constraint will restrict you to enter any duplicate value and it will throws you an error. And this thing guys, you need to explore by yourself with watching my constraint video, that how constraints are restricted to enter any duplicate data or any other data. And now let's understand how we can remove this sales ID column as a unique constraint. So again we have very simple query to remove this sales ID as a unique key constraint. So what we need to do, I will simply write my query here. So what I need to do, I will simply change this query. So instead of add guys, this time I will use drop keyword. And this thing I need to remove this from here. And here I will use one more keyword which name is constraint, because these are the constraint. And here you can see the serial number of this unique key. So you have to enter that number here after the constraint. So if you entering this from your keyboard, so it will take more time and also have chances that you can enter wrong serial number. So it's better guys, you can select this and drag and drop it here just like this and put some space here. So this is the key guys, and now I want to drop this unique key. So I will select this query and again I'll click here on this execute. And see guys, command completed successfully. So again you need to go here and refresh this indexes. And see, there is no plus icon here in the front of indexes. That means sales ID dropped as a unique key. So I hope you are also clear with this unique constraint example, that how we can use with this alter command. And now let's take one more example with other constraint. And this time I want to make this sales ID as a primary key. So let's take one more example with primary key constraint. And this time I want to make this sales ID as a primary key. So let me first execute this quantity table. And we will use same query just like a unique key. So I will simply write my query here, alter table. Our table name is quantity. And now I will use add keyword and I will write primary key. And finally I need to drop the column name here. So my column name is sales ID again. So it is getting in a red error, so I will close this square bracket. And now let me execute this command. So see guys, command completed successfully. So to see this primary key guys, you need to go here in this key folder. Now let me do right click here and refresh it. And now if I expand this key folder guys, so here we can clearly see under this quantity table, this is a PK which is primary key. And if you guys wants to drop like a unique key constraint, so again you need to use drop keyword here. So instead of add guys, I will use drop. And I will remove this all the query. And here I will write constraint. And this is the primary key number guys. So I will simply select and drop it here. And now I will execute this query. So see, command completed successfully. And again I will refresh this keys folder. Go here and refresh it. So see, there is no plus icon in the front of key. That means sales ID removed as a primary key. And now guys, let me tell you one more constraint, that how we can make the alteration in any column as a foreign key. So firstly let me execute this sales table. So as we already seen that all the columns are foreign key with this sales table. And now let me execute both the queries together. So this is my sales table and this is my quantity table. And as you know guys, this SQL DBMS is a RDBMS, which is Relational Database Management System. That means we can store the relatable table. And now guys, what I'll do, I'll mark this sales ID for this sales table as a foreign key, and here under this quantity table, mark this sales ID as a primary key. So I will again mark this sales ID as a primary key first. So let me remove this query and I will use add constraint, and here I will use primary key. And simply I will write my column name, which is sales ID. And now let me execute this query again. And if I refresh this key guys, and if I expand this key folder, so here we can see sales ID is a primary key for this quantity table. This sales ID is a foreign key for the sales table. So how we can define this thing? So let me quickly create this quantity column as a foreign key with this alter command. So how we need to write the query? Let's check it out. So let me delete this query first, and here I will simply write alter table, and here I will write my table name where I want to mark sales ID as a foreign key. So here under sales table, I want to mark this sales ID as a foreign key. So I will take this sales table here, and here I will use this add keyword, and I will tell you this is a foreign key, and here I'll simply write the column name, which is sales ID. And now this query is not completed yet, and here we need to enter one more keyword, which name is references. And under references guys, here we need to enter the primary key table as well as the column name. So as we know guys, we have already marked this sales ID column is a primary key for this quantity table. So firstly I will write the table name where we have our primary column. So our table name is quantity. And now I will write my column name, which is primary key column. So under quantity table, our sales ID column is a primary key. And now let me execute this query. Command completed successfully. And now I will go here in the left side and click here on this plus icon on this sales table. And here you guys can see this key folder. So firstly you have to refresh this. So just do right click and refresh this key folder. And now if I expand this, that means this sales ID is a foreign key for this sales table. That means you guys can enter any duplicate value here under this sales ID column for the sales table. And if you guys wants to delete this sales ID as a foreign key, so you guys can use same command with drop keyword. So this thing guys you need to try by yourself. And quickly guys, let's talk about the next other constraint, that how we can use this alter command with other constraint. So the first one is check constraint. So this is the syntax of check constraint. You guys can use check constraint with alter table. Firstly you need to enter the alter table, then table name, then we can use add keyword with check constraint and then column name. And here is the example with the same sales table. So in the green color we have this table, and now we will write this keyword, which is add check, and we are telling this constraint the age should be greater than 18. If user wants to write any value which is less than 18, so it will not allowed. And the next constraint is default constraint. So here we have the same syntax, but the catch is that here we have one more keyword, which name is for. So while defining this default constraint, so you need to use this for keyword. Here default means user can write any default value. That means if the value is empty, so it automatically filled the default value. And here is the example. So again we will use alter table, then sales, then we will use add default keyword. And here we can see we have write the value, which is 16, and then the column name, which is age. So this is your homework guys, you need to explore by yourself. So I hope you are cleared with all the uses of alter commands. So for such kind of detailed learning of SQL, stay connected with us and kindly support this channel. And if someone wants to learn Power BI from scratch, so you guys can follow free YouTube channel, which name is Power BI Full Course by Shubham. And here under this 50 tutorials guys, I have explained each and every concept in detail. And we have multiple playlists are here. So step by step you guys can follow all the playlists of this channel. And you can take depth knowledge of all the concept of Power BI as well as SQL. So here under this DAX expression playlist, I have explained all the DAX functions from scratch. And with this visual guys, you guys can take detailed knowledge of visuals. So please like, share and subscribe. And also press this bell icon guys, else you will miss an update. And for the job seekers guys, we have this free Telegram group where I'm keep posting latest Power BI jobs opening. So you don't need to pay anything to anyone for jobs and trainings. But if you still think you require paid training sessions, so we also prepare candidates from scratch till advanced level. so that people can get more confident and cleared with interviews by themselves. We also provide with some organization based scenarios which we use in projects. So for paid training and other support, you guys can connect me on LinkedIn or Telegram group. Both the links are given under the description box. You guys can follow me there. Thank you so much guys for your more love and support. Keep learning and keep growing. Thank you so much.